Welcome in, beautiful people, to this week's episode of High Fiber Sports. Get your fiber in. I'm Matt Kobold, Nolan Toot, and our big dog, Brad McDonald. Brad, what's your thoughts after 2 weeks in the NFL season?
A lot of eaten words there, Matt. After week one, I thought that Bills Ravens game was the best game we were going to see all year, and it already got topped. That Giants Cowboys game was one of the craziest damn games I've ever seen. I thought it was over 4 times. Was it 5 lead changes in the fourth quarter? Something like
Nuts.
that?
Nuts.
Just nuts. Crazy ass game. This season's been exciting as hell. Teaches you not to overreact after week one. I don't know. I'm ready to rock and roll. And unfortunately, because one of the teams that I talk shit about a ton, to start the year, more from hatred, not logic, I brought in someone that happens to like said team. Nolan is back with us again. Unfortunately, a Packers fan, and he's wearing his shit. Whatever. Nolan, what's up?
Hey, thanks for having me back, guys. You know, it's one of those times where I am overreacting after week 1 and 2.
I bet. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of talk about overreaction. Go back and look at that episode from last week. We each threw out two overreaction topics in the High Fiber Sports channel feed. Brad, anything else from you before we get into some topics after 2 weeks in the NFL season?
Well, being that we're not going to cover this one, my 49ers are surviving. All right. All right, even without a bunch of guys in there, just wait
David.
till we're healthy. The last
David.
time we went on a run like this, we were banged up at the beginning of the year. We might have went to the Super Bowl. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
y'all
beating
watch
up on
out.
those bottom 5 teams in the NFL. You're beating
Yeah,
them up
well,
hard.
do we play the Titans this year? I'm not sure. Bottom 5 teams, Matt.
Yes, in
Yeah.
December in
Yeah.
Santa Clara. Let's not
Uh-huh.
forget.
That's right. That's right.
You guys made Spencer Rattler look not too bad. Okay, you guys made that queef look not too bad. I think 3 touchdowns, but
Yeah, half the team's out. I'm not too concerned about it.
Good
We
win.
got 2 dubs right now.
Good
We're
win.
not in one of the teams' situation that I know you got to talk about there, Matt. We could be the Bengals. So we ain't that.
We definitely could be. You could be the Bengals. We'll definitely be getting into Joe Burrow and that situation here in a little bit. But Nolan, we're gonna throw it to you here first. Give us a topic. What you're feeling after 2 weeks in the NFL season.
Yeah, and I'm going to start with the obvious one. It's the Packers. You know, I love the Packers. I had to go back and look, and I think I was, pretty giddy recording the last podcast with Brad around NFC North breakdown. Micah Parsons happened right before that, but I didn't think it could be this good.
Yeah, you gave it to the Lions, didn't you?
I did, I think.
Yeah,
It was
I
close.
thought so.
Me too.
It was close, but it's not that the Lions, I think, are that bad. I think there's an overreaction there, but I think the Packers are that good, and I am even surprised. As an try to be an objective fan of my team, I thought we had some opportunities for improvement, but definitely still some holes. I think all the improvement around what Micah brings exceeded my expectations. So Micah Parsons is the obvious answer here. He's disruptive. He's been hurt, but he's been playing in spurts, and every time he's on there, he's making plays, not just sacks, but hurries. He's drawing double teams. He's just a game changer, and that's why it was so monumental that he got traded. I mean, J.J. Watt was losing his mind. Like, this doesn't happen in the NFL with the way that trades work today. And he's just a game changer who's only 28 years old. So I got to say, though, where I'm the most impressed, though, is everyone around him on the defense is taking a step forward. Lucas Van Ness, the 2 linebackers are not making the mistakes that they were making last year. They're playing downhill. So Edgerrin Cooper and Quay Walker. I knew I was going to forget those names for a minute. We brought in Hobbs in the secondary now, and that's not normal for the Packers either, to spend on a proven guy in the secondary to go with some young guys. I gotta say, they've all taken a step forward. I don't know if it's the scheme. I don't know if it's the euphoria of having Micah Parsons around as a talisman. It's something, because they're all playing at a level higher this year. And then on offense, he's maybe not putting up the video game numbers, but Jordan Love just looks smooth. He doesn't look scared. He doesn't look confused. He looks like he has a command of the offense, and he looks healthy.
Very
So
smooth.
Yeah.
you just love everything you're seeing there. It's working like a well-oiled machine, and that's better than maybe some of these high-flying numbers, high-flying plays. It just looks like a good machine, and that's what KC's looked like a lot over the last few years. And look how well that worked out for them.
Matt, you go first here because I've got to eat shit on one thing and talk shit on another. So you go ahead, brother.
I want to be careful comparing the Packers to the Chiefs already. I want to be careful, but yeah, smooth as butter, Jordan Love right there. 2 impressive wins to start us off for the Packers. I just want to highlight quickly Tucker Kraft at the tight end position. He leads the Packers in targets, receptions, receiving yards, and receiving touchdowns. Tight end 1 in fantasy. Brad, I got him on my bench because I got Brock Bowers. So I'm thinking about putting him in that flex this week. Brad, thoughts on the Packers?
This is where I got to eat shit a little bit, but as I said in the intro, it's out of pure hatred. I hate them so much because I'm from Iowa, so everyone around me is an NFC North fan or random Chiefs fans here or there, and most of them are Packers fans. And Packers fans, when I used to travel for work, they were in every goddamn city. In Phoenix, Arizona, there was a Mexican restaurant that was Packer themed. The shit is that. So I hate the team, but I have to admit, post Micah Parsons and Nolan, he's like, oh, well, can one guy that make that much of a difference? Well, if you average a quarter of a second less per time to throw every play, which is basically probably, I'm just throwing that number out there, but it's got to be less time to throw every play, everyone else's responsibility becomes a little bit easier. So, I mean, he's just an all-world player, one of the best we got in the NFL. So I get it. Jordan Love, hold your horses there. He should have had multiple interceptions this year that were not caught. And you know that, Nolan, as someone that's watched the games. If those are caught, you ain't talking like how smooth as butter he is. He's still a sack of shit. The Packers are good. Put in Malik Willis. Fucking bullshit.
I like Malik.
Me too. Way better than Jordan Love.
I did put a future on Jordan Love for MVP, so if that cashes, I'll be coming back to throw my dollar bills around, all 17 of them.
I got mine on Malik Willis, so.
As we foreshadowed, I'm going to take us out to Cincinnati, the Bengals, because, damn it, guys, Joe Burrow, quarterback, he's down again, fellas. He's down again. He will undergo surgery for a turf toe injury that he suffered Sunday and will be out a minimum of 3 months. Fellas, let's look at his injury history because it's starting to add up a little bit. It's starting to add up for Joey B. He missed the final 6 games of his rookie season, 2020. He tore his ACL and his MCL in his left knee with additional damage to his PCL and meniscus. He ripped the fuck out of that knee his rookie year. Missed the final 6 games. He only missed 2 games over the next 2 seasons. Solid, coming back. But 2023, he strained that calf in training camp. Came in a little gimpy. Didn't miss the start of the season, but he was gimpy. He missed the final 7 games that year due to a torn ligament in his wrist. He played every game last year. It's a little bouncing back and forth here. 15 missed games in his first 5 seasons. Fellas, that number's going to go way up. I think he's done for the year. I think we've seen the last snap from Joe Burrow in the 2025 season. 2 reasons. Jake Browning, the backup. If they don't get another guy, I want to hear your thoughts on that. If you think that there's a backup out there that can not replace Joey B, but fill in. But right now they're going with Jake Browning. He's not good enough to keep the Bengals in contention. No reason to rush Burrow back if you can't make the playoffs. And also, there's been a total of 0 players to return the same season that they had surgery on their turf toe. No one's returned the same season, fellas. Great weapons in Cincinnati, but they haven't invested in the offensive line. Brad, what's going to happen here in Cincinnati? Do they go get somebody, or do they ride with Browning and just shit the season away?
I would say you try and trade guys that you don't plan on signing after this year right now because your season's over. It's done. Like, and don't go. They've paid all these guys here recently. I don't know their salary cap numbers, but I have to imagine they wouldn't be able to afford the only guy I think on someone's bench that could lead a playoff team. And that's Kirk Cousins.
The
Like,
Vikings are going to go get him anyway.
Bring it back.
right? I know that would. Oh my God, what a story that would be! I didn't even think of that. That'd be sweet. But yeah, I think the Bengals, like, they're done. They're done. Trade away Hendrickson. You only got him on a deal, 1 year deal. See if you can do a sign, like assign it, like if he'll agree to get traded somewhere, as long as he gets an extension. Like, you got to do something like that. They already don't plan on signing him next year anyway. See what you can get for that. Offensive lineman is what you need, because the protection around Burrow is horrendous, which is why you listed off those stats about all his injuries. He's got no time. He's carrying a goddamn team every whenever he's healthy, but he can't stay healthy. And I don't think it's on him. I think it's on the organization. They've drafted a bunch on defense, and it's not really panned out that well, and they don't have an offensive line again. So, yeah, forfeit on the season, man. I'm out. They're done.
I like the call out on Kirk Cousins. He's got to be at the top of the list for
Sure.
backup quarterbacks that are available. Nolan, what's going to happen in Cincinnati? Are they done? Season over?
Yeah, I'm actually surprised. I thought I was going to go contrarian to Brad because, the sentiment out there is this is a Burrow issue. And it's a him being injury prone. I thought Brad, he looks very lemming-like, and I thought he'd just follow the tides of the people. But he went organizational. And that's what I see here. And I'm going to probably kick it back to somebody you might want to comment on, Andrew Luck. This is very reminiscent of Andrew Luck, and I feel like the Colts at that point in time wasted him. They didn't draft offensive linemen. I don't have the stats in front of me, but they went some obscene number of years with Andrew Luck of not addressing that line in very obvious opportunities to do
And
so.
he's been hit more than Luck. I
Yes.
saw a stat. Yeah.
So
Crazy.
I thought I was going to maybe be a little contrarian here, not piling on the Joe Burrow's the problem wagon and saying it's organizational.
Fuck
But
no.
I think it's organizational. So therefore, what do I think is going to happen? Whatever the answer is, it's going to be a bungle. They're going to screw it up.
yeah.
I
Gonna
don't
be
know
the
what
wrong
that answer
answer.
is, but think
Yeah.
smart answer. The Bengals are going to do the other thing.
That's fair.
I love the comparison. Andrew Luck, number one picks, franchise quarterbacks, dudes getting you to deep into the playoffs. We got plenty of guys come on here with tissues and wipe their tears talking about Andrew Luck. Brad, lead us into your topic, brother.
Well, speaking of that subject, there has been a rash of injuries at the QB1 position this year in the NFL. Wild. Obviously, Burrow, we already covered that. I'm with you. I think he's done. I mean, they said 3 months minimum, so you're done. Because
Mid-December. That's mid-December. They're not going to be in contention.
They're not going to be in contention. You're done. So then we got the best quarterback in the NFL, Brock Purdy. He missed last week. He's already practicing today. So at worst, I say he's back next week. Not much of an issue. Sounds more like a sprained ligament in the toe. So thank God, not as bad as Burrow. But then we got J.J. McCarthy. They're saying 2 to 4 weeks. And honestly, everyone gave him so much praise after week 1. 3 quarters, he was dog shit.
Yeah.
Okay, he had one good quarter so far this season.
I believe he was NFC Offensive Player of the Week after week 1.
With less than 200 yards passing.
What?
No. Bad NFL. Bad.
Ridiculous.
That was not true. He won a game late. That's it. Many guys had better games. That was dumb as hell.
Really.
But so he's out for a while. So I assume Carson Wentz is going to win Comeback Player of the Year and MVP under Kevin O'Connell because he just does that. I mean, I'm joking a little, but if it happens, I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, he almost won MVP once before if he didn't get hurt the year when Foles took him to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he could do it, unfortunately. I mean, I don't want him to, but he could lead that team. That defense is there. Kevin O'Connell's a man with quarterbacks, but another quarterback down. Jaden Daniels, questionable with the knee injury. getting clipped on that one play, and adrenaline will get you through the rest of the games, just like
somebody
Purdy will
not on
finish
that
the
list.
game.
Tua Tagovailoa hasn't died yet.
Calm down. He might have opened a door into his head and went unconscious.
You spoke
Tonight,
too soon,
Nolan. Jeez.
You spoke too soon.
Yeah. Calm down. Well, then, those are the big ones that are out right now. And one thing, an argument that I kind of heard about that is a lot of these quarterbacks are way more mobile than like Brady and Manning and all that shit. Because you remember Brady and Manning, guys coming, fall down. You just fall fucking down because those guys ran at the speed of farts. Okay, they weren't going nowhere, and so is the mobile quarterback. You take a big risk. So if you got one of those guys, you gotta have another guy. Really, and so but these guys coming out tend to be a little bit better than they were before, and a lot of these guys going to second and third situations are panning out. I think the quarterback storyline in the NFL right now is way better than it's ever been. It's not like 3 guys, it's like a million. What do you guys think?
I'll add one more name. I might have missed if you brought him up. Sorry, Brad. But Justin Fields out with a concussion.
Oh, I have him on my list, but I did not.
I might have missed him, but Tyrod Taylor going to fill in there. I like the call out for Carson Wentz. A good year
the Jets won't miss him.
I like Justin Fields. Our guy Doug. Shout out Doug, missing this week, but he likes Justin Fields too. But those legs, baby, those legs. But I like the Carson Wentz call out. A good year in Indianapolis, a couple good ones in Philly. Kevin O'Connell, quarterback whisperer. Marcus Mariota, possibly maybe a resurgence for his career. Could he fill in for Jaden Daniels?
75 teams have tried that. And it hasn't worked yet.
Who's
been on more teams, Sam or Tyrod?
Tyrod, no doubt.
Josh Johnson's the king, though. He legit has like 17 fucking teams or something like that.
Nolan, what's your thoughts about the quarterback injuries here? We were pretty lucky after week 1. Not a lot of injuries. We saw Austin Eckler go down with a torn Achilles here in week 2, unfortunately. But everybody likes Austin Eckler. Nolan, what's your thoughts on the quarterbacks going down here in week 2?
I think it's an ebb and a flow. I'm gonna go with we mentioned the Chiefs earlier, but I'm gonna go with the Pat Mahomes rule, the Tom Brady rule that have been put in place in the past to protect quarterbacks. All of a sudden the hits start coming, the injuries start, then the refs start throwing more flags. Then we get pissed at that. And then you touch a quarterback or you breathe on them wrong, and then it's a flag and we get mad at that, and then it pendulums back. But you look at, and I'm gonna call it Mahomes here, in the first couple of games, he's been, if you actually go look, he's in the top 20 in rushing overall.
He's led them in rushing yards this year, right?
He's cool.
And if you watch some of his runs, he's dropping his shoulder into DBs. That is asking for a DB to light him up hard, and then all of a sudden we're going to be talking about that. And so you talk about mobile quarterbacks, Brad. This, I think, is just the pendulum of how we protect or don't protect that position with the officiating. Because this, if you remember, I don't know the number of years ago, we had kind of a resurgence of quarterbacks who even weren't quote unquote mobile, moving a little bit, taking on some riskier plays, and we started to see some more injuries. And then all of a sudden, here comes the NFL with the aforementioned rules.
Mm-hmm. Well, you got to protect your product. And I totally understand actually both sides of the argument here, because a team that has a legendary quarterback, remove them, you remove that team from any type of revenue as far as watching a game. I
don't disagree with you at all, Brad. I think it's just, we're just at that point in the life cycle. History 100%. Repeats itself, and I think it's just coming right back. And
the NFL is so cyclical. We've talked about this before. It's why it's one of the best, in my opinion, the best professional sports league there is, because all these teams can get in and different. You get the right head coach with the right system at the right time. You're the first one in there, and you can fuck shit up and win all of a sudden. And all these salary cap kind of helps. And so, I totally agree with you, dude.
Nolan, lead us into your second NFL topic here this week on High Fiber Sports.
Yeah, so watched last week's episode. You guys kind of stole a couple of my first ideas for topics, so I had to scrape a little bit. But I'm gonna go a little in depth again. If you all remember my apron discussion from our NBA talk in the summer, this is looking at some specific players, specifically rookies, and why they don't play a lot in the beginning of their careers, and even some of the most supremely talented ones maybe don't quite put up the stats because they're not in the right situation. So I'm going to call two situations out here, throw out a couple player names and some instances, and then see what your all's reaction to it, both from a fantasy perspective and from a real watching football perspective. So the first one is wide receivers. One of the biggest things in today's game that you need is a wide receiver who knows how to read where to sit in the zone, who knows how to break off a route when there's a blitz, and who knows how to go where they're supposed to go when you're on the move, when you're on the scramble, the play breaks down. It's more important in the NFL because, and in both of these situations, this is the key. You can't out-athlete the other side anymore. These are the best of the best of the best on both sides of the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And the coordinators are the best of the best, and they're going to bring defenses and blitzes you've never seen before. And so having that wide receiver know where they need to be and just be telepathically in tune with the QB means playing time, means playing when you're down and need to throw the ball. Even if you're the most uber talented wide receiver in the class, you might be struggling so far this year if you look at some of the names on that list. One name I'm going to call out that isn't, Tedoroa McMillan. He played 3 years at Arizona. He seems to know what he's doing. He doesn't have the most uber talented quarterback he's playing with and one that has to scramble a lot. But guess what? He's number 8 overall in receiving yards. And if you watch the tape, he knows where to sit down in the zone. He knows when to break it off, and he knows where to go on the scramble.
Dude, that blew me away. He was one of my sleeper picks, but when you put that in our text chat, I had no idea he was in top 10 receiving. That's freaking awesome. I love it. But yeah, keep going.
Don't forget who sleeper he was.
Yeah. You picked him before me, so whatever.
Come on.
And then, so the other one, which this I think is easily searchable, and I sent him to Brad earlier. I'm gonna talk about, and I had a name for this segment. It's picking up the blitz, and it's running backs. Every commentator brings it up every weekend in some game. And the running back pick up the blitz. Not can they catch the ball, can they run the ball. In the NFL, it's can you pick up the blitz. If the defense knows that you can't pick the blitz up and you're in the running back, you're either running the ball and they can blitz, or you can't pick up the blitz and they can blitz. And that just makes you so one-sided, especially when the game script is going against you. So what made me think of this topic was this weekend watching games and watching two distinctly different, maybe height profiles and skill profiles coming out of college. I think both have some hype, but I think there's a clear distinction here. And just, how we look at these players. One is Ashton Genty with the Las Vegas Raiders, unanimous number 1 overall fantasy pick out of the rookie class this year. They think he's going to be a bell cow, supremely talented. I think he's supremely talented. He's up there. He got absolutely shit canned around picking up the blitz in those Slacks Weekends game. And it was apparent he didn't know how to do it. And then on the flip side of that coin, you look at Cam Scatterbo. I know he's got his cult following. I like the guy. Watching him in the playoffs last year, man, that's almost like Jordan Flu game. You just want to root for him. You can't sit here and say he maybe is physically as talented as Ashton Genty, but what he can do is he understands the game. And his snap share went from 11% to 52% from week 1 to week 2. You want to know why I think it is? He knows how to pick up the blitz. And there's multiple clips during this Burnover game that you talked about, Brad, where he picked up the blitz, and instead of that leading to sacks like it did for Geno Smith, it led to 25-yard pass plays. And so that's just where I want to talk about. Those are fantasy people out there, people who like the NFL and want rookies to do good and are giving up on them a little too early. These matter in the NFL. The NFL is a job, and it's for money. And so coaches have to have those guys out there. QBs have to have those guys out there in order to win games because the margins are so small in the NFL. The parity's too close. And we've talked about that. So one turn over to you guys. I know, Matt, you probably have a take from a fantasy perspective of when not to bail on rookies who maybe aren't seeing the run they want or the numbers they want. Maybe Genty's not going to be out there maybe when they need to throw the ball a lot. That might hurt his numbers a little bit. Cam might be out there a little bit more. We look at receivers who can do those same things. They may be out there more or less, not even depending on their draft position. And then Brad, throw it to you to talk about maybe the just watching football aspect of it.
Yeah, Ashton Genty, big dog. Everybody wanted him number 6 overall. You mentioned the pass blocking. I want to say it wasn't even 5 minutes into the game. This play, he not only looks lost, but he looks like he's giving no effort. Not even 5 minutes into the game, no effort. Doesn't know who to block. Isn't trying. Gino throws 3 picks. My goodness, it was ugly.
Oh,
But
I
yeah,
think he threw 4.
Yeah. 4?
did he throw 4? Oh
I
my
think he threw
goodness.
4.
But let's just look at a couple of fantasy studs that we know are big dogs now after their first 2 games of their rookie seasons. Bucky Irving, the Buccaneers back, he was averaging 5 fantasy points per game after 2 games. Rashee Rice had run 16 routes after 2 games. Jahmyr Gibbs had only played 37% of the snaps. David Montgomery was hogging the backfield there. Devon Achane, a lot of speed down there in South Beach. He only played 5 snaps in his first 2 games. Justin Jefferson, 6 targets. Nick Chubb, 5 rushing attempts. And Christian McCaffrey was averaging 2.7 yards per carry after his first 2 games. I'm not going to get nervous about Genty, Omarion Hampton. Travion Henderson, he's not getting a lot of work, but Ramondre looked good this week. But I still think Travion's going to get that backfield eventually. Caleb Johnson, he's been dropped in a lot of leagues. J.K. Dobbins is looking good out here in the Mile High City, so R.J. Harvey's going to have to wait a little bit. But got to be patient with your rookies after 2 games, fellas. Brad, any thoughts?
No, 100% I agree. A lot of people thought like Caleb Johnson especially is a good example of one that did
Did
the
you see what
dumbest
happened real
thing.
quick?
I was about to bring it up. Yeah, did the
Sorry.
dumbest thing ever. But he wasn't getting PT before that. No playing time before that because we've all seen that he's a talented back. And I'll be honest, I can't root for Iowa. That's a contract thing I have with my soul. But I think he's the best running back on the roster, but Pittsburgh tends to disagree because they extended Warren. So I don't know. I really thought he was going to be, but like Nolan said, like you said, Matt, there's some time. Running backs can blow up right away, but it could be. Those stats you put out about those guys not really doing much first few games is perfect because I could see after a few games all these guys absolutely blowing up. That's why I have kind of changed my tune as far as fantasy goes. If you don't get like 3 or 4 of certain running backs, just wait because the rest of them are going to get hurt. At least if you have 3 running backs on your team, 9 are going to get injured.
And you guys hammered on the
Fantasy
running
football
backs.
math.
You guys hammered on the running backs here, but I'll throw out a couple names of second-year wide receivers who I think have figured out how to work with their quarterback and know where to be. And you look at the top 10, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Rome Aduze. There's a couple other guys that are in their second year.
What about third-year guys that someone said would be a fantasy sleeper third year? Was that Quentin Johnston out of TCU?
Good call.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 2 touchdowns the first game. I know he had 1. Is it only 3 so far?
2, baby. That's
good.
he's-
Is that good? Did I break it?
Yeah, did I break it? Yeah, exactly. So
But you look at those guys,
yeah.
It's a lot of things. It's picking up the playbook. It's picking up the system. It's just maturing into it. But, I think if you went and looked at the tape, a lot of them are guys just know where to be. And they flourish because of it. Because the NFL parity is so tight, and those athletes on the other side are so good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no joke. Other than the Jordan Love, most of the players in the NFL are good. Yeah.
Let me throw out a quick rookie wide receiver here, Alec Iomaner.
Who the hell is that?
From Stanford.
I own him in every one of my leagues.
He's just behind Calvin Ridley in targets, receptions. Him and Cam Ward got a lot of chemistry. Alec Iomaner. I keep on
fan. You can say his name.
I keep on messing the name up. I keep on confusing myself because I hear it both ways. I keep confusing myself. But damn it, he's looking good. He's got the only receiving touchdown for the Titans this year. Him and Cam Ward have that rookie chemistry.
That throw.
Risky. Risky.
Yeah,
Risky,
it's
but
stupid as hell, but he did
Good
it.
arm.
You
Great
know?
arm. Great arm.
That was crazy.
My second topic this week, fellas, here on High Fiber Sports, keeping it in the backfield. I want to go down to Duval. We can't talk about the Jaguars without mentioning that fucking clown, fucking Mr. Duval. But let's talk about the backfield. Coming into the season, coming into the fantasy season, people weren't really caring about the Jaguars backfield. You know, you got Tank Bigsby here. You got Travis Etienne, a couple rookies. Tank Bigsby actually had over 200 more rushing yards than Travis Etienne last year, and 5 more rushing tutties. So coming into the season, you're thinking Tank's the rusher, maybe Travis Etienne's the receiving back, maybe a Rashad White, Bucky Irving situation in Tampa that Queef had last year. But Travis Etienne in week 1, he comes out 16 carries for a $143, 14 carries for 71 yards last week, 6 targets in those 2 games. Big dog. After that big performance in week 1, what does Jacksonville do? They go and trade Tank Bigsby. I couldn't believe it. He only had 5 carries for 12 yards in that week 1 matchup. Traded to the Eagles for a 5th and a 6th next year. Opens up the backfield for Travis Etienne. Yeah, they're mixing in 2 rookies here. Bashal Tootin, 4th rounder out of Virginia Tech. LaQuint Allen, 7th rounder out of Syracuse. They're mixing those guys in a bit. Only 1 rushing touchdown on the season for the Jacksonville Jaguars. It came from Brian Thomas Jr. So Travis Etienne, the running back, 9 in fantasy with only 1 receiving touchdown. My question to Nolan here, can you rely on Travis Etienne as your RB2 in fantasy?
No.
No.
No?
No, and I won't be taking questions at this time. You know, you laid it out there. I don't. It's not that I don't necessarily believe in Travis Etienne. I don't believe in any system that is that unsorted to start the year. And just like we just talked about, you can't sort the year after 2 weeks and make the Tank decision. If you said, "Oh, we're getting a 3rd round pick for him," yes, but you didn't have to make that move. That move would have been here in 3 weeks. And so with just that overreaction, unless there's something they're seeing, and here's where I'm going to say the Jaguars track record says they don't know what they're looking at. If you got the RB whisperer down there, and I don't know who that is, but if you got him, then maybe we trust that. But that's where I'm at as no. It's not about the person. It's just the situation and the way that RB by committee works in the NFL. If you're unsorted to start the year, you're probably unsorted for at least the first 6 weeks, and it's whoever's got the hot hand, and then maybe it's no hands. So I think it was an overreaction, and I think, could it work out? Sure. I'm not saying that it ain't going to work. I'm saying you're rolling dice.
Yeah.
And Ron Rivera ain't coaching there. The riverboat gambler himself.
Brad, Travis Etienne, we know he's boys with Trevor Lawrence from their days at Clemson. 1st round pick, Travis Etienne. Let's not forget it. RB16 as a rookie, RB3 as a sophomore. Had a down year last year. Can he finish top 20, top 25 at the running back position, Brad? Travis Etienne?
I think he might be able to. I think the problem in Jacksonville the whole time has been organizational. I hated Trent Baalke getting the job there. I thought that was stupid as hell. Like, he was awful with San Francisco. So I never really understood that, and he was awful in everything he did in Jacksonville beforehand. And he was at the helm when, like, everyone thought ETN was going to be a guy coming out of Clemson. Everyone thought he was a stud. So maybe it is a system thing, or maybe they thought they have 2 starting running backs right now. 2 picks, yeah, 5th and 6th, not much, but maybe the cost of mustache rides went down, so Shad Khan had to save some money and get rid of it before he had to pay Bigsby. I don't know.
You said Shad Khan. Did you mean Pakistani Monopoly Man?
I thought that's the same thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, isn't it?
I think
That's
so.
the right guy, right?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, the mustache.
Yeah, he's got the mustache. Maybe he needs a monocle.
Yeah.
Maybe he's like Superman. He puts the monocle on. He's Monopoly Man. He takes it off. He's an NFL owner.
The mustache is substantial. It looks like it can hold some weight, but sometimes rides are cheaper nowadays.
Hey, you gotta respect whatever his faults are. You gotta respect the man with a good lip caterpillar.
I don't. That one's bad. I was being sarcastic before. It looks fucking terrible.
Nolan, Brad's got the Jags winning the AFC South. Are you going to agree or disagree with that?
I don't think I agree with that anymore.
You're jumping on Indy?
Hey, I reserve the right to change my mind. The fucking...
Wow. You jumping. After 2 weeks, you're going to jump.
Daniel Jones is probably going to win the MVP, man.
Okay, Sam.
So I think I had the Colts. Brad will have to go to the big board. I didn't do the NFC South or the NFC South pod. But I think I had the Colts to go the year. My dad and brother would probably beat me if I wouldn't have picked the Colts. I did not expect Daniel Jones to be as good as he is. So that was probably a little bit of a homer pick, but they look pretty darn good. Wow. So my answer to your question, no. It's the Colts.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Brad might be jumping too. Well, a lot of Colts talking on this podcast. A lot of Colts talking.
I have to keep my record as far as standings go with all our projections, but what I'm saying is I'm man enough to admit my ass was wrong.
We'll see. 2 weeks, boys. 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
No.
Brad, give us your last topic here for after 2 weeks of the NFL season.
Well, this week I gotta go to something. I'm gonna eat shit again on this one. In the NFC North pod, we spoke about it's just Nolan's calls it dinner, I guess, whatever. But we're talking about the tush push there, and I gave them all shit because the Packers won that brought up the issue and whatever. I'm over it. Okay, I was like, stop it. And then this week, they have how many false starts? And all the lineup, it's not, we're not playing rugby. If we want to play rugby, let's play rugby. This isn't rugby. That's a rugby scrum. That's exactly what this is. I give up. I'm wrong. I'm tired of it. That shit sucks. Get the fuck out of the league. And when everyone's like, oh, everyone can do it. Okay. Well, over the NFL, since it's kind of like started with the Eagles, they've done it 101 times. Bills have done it 52 times. And the next closest is Bears at 14.
Damn.
All right?
Damn.
Only one team in the NFL is a quarterback that squats a house. And I get it. Yeah, you shouldn't make a play illegal because one player's great at it. That's not why I want it illegal. I want it illegal because it's like I'm watching a Cleveland Browns game every week. I don't want to see that.
It's a lot like rugby. I'm with you, Brad. I was with you in the preseason when we talked about it. Like, hey, stop being a little bitch. Man up, stop it. I was with you then. But after watching that Eagles-Chiefs game, that was boring, guys. I mean, that's not football. That's not football. And it's not good on the eyes, and it's not good if you have A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith in fantasy. My goodness, real quickly. A.J. Brown, wide receiver 83. Devontae Smith, wide receiver 63. Jalen Hurts, he's 31st in the league in passing yards, 25th in completions, 28th in attempts, and he hasn't even thrown a touchdown, fellas. He hasn't thrown a touchdown.
Shit.
Nolan, I know you're on banning the tush push because you're a Packers guy, but what else you got for us on that?
Yeah, man, I don't hate it because I'm a Packers fan. I hate it because what you talked about, it makes it boring. And I'll tell you really where I agree with Brad as much as I hate to agree with Brad on things. It's not to ban a play just because somebody's better at it than the others. I'm not doing it this time, Brad, so you're on your own. But it's the fact that the first time they ran it was 2 yards to go for a first down, and they ran it on 3rd and 4th down. And that's where I'm just like, it slows the game down so much. It just becomes, I only have to make it 8 yards. And I have Jalen Hurts in a couple fantasy leagues. You brought up the stats there, Matt. I don't like that. The NFL's fun when you're airing it out. That's why it's a passing league now. That's why it's an offense league now. That's why the rules are the rules around who can you hit, who can't you hit, pass interference. This isn't it. I'll go to my other gripe, which is very similar because there were some false starts with it that weren't called. And speaking of bad NFL, they copyrighted striped. Some guys giving them a hard time about those. They copyright striped the videos around
Oh,
that.
no
So
shit, huh?
there's some NFL covering the tracks about things they don't like to hear
Ooh,
about. Go
ooh,
bad NFL.
I
not the
wondered
first
because I
time.
looked stuff up earlier and I saw it and I tried to look it up again and it was gone.
Yep.
Huh.
So that happened today. So
Not the
the
first
other
time.
one though is the Kansas City. I'm going to pick on the Kansas City Chiefs, but there's a lot of them that do it. It happens in college now too. Your right
Oh,
tackle
yeah.
moving early.
Yeah.
Those
They've
fuckers
been
false
called
start
out
constantly.
forever. Like last year, years in the past, they move way early.
Yep, and that's another one where again, I'm not like upset about if you're going to get away with it, then do it. Just like the tush push, if it's not illegal, do it. But it just annoys the crap out of me because then sometimes they call it, sometimes they don't.
Yeah.
Sometimes they, they're going to put something against the tush push, or sometimes they won't. So it's the eye test.
Well, with the tush push, like, especially with the false starts and being offside, like, just call the rules. And then maybe this wouldn't be as big as an issue, but everyone keeps trying to push the envelope a little bit more, and now it's getting ridiculous. And they
I'm not a
need to
rules
rein it
expert
in.
here, and maybe one of you can do it, and maybe we can look it up or something, and Brad will slice it in. At some level of football, growing up playing it, I was told it's illegal to push a runner from behind.
Oh,
A
yes,
pile can be
actually,
pushed, but a runner directly cannot be pushed because there's nothing to stop a lineman from picking up a running
it
back
is.
and walking them to the end zone.
It is illegal, and it was actually illegal in the NFL for nearly the entirety of the league until roughly 5 years ago, until the officials basically admitted that it was too hard to officiate, so they eliminated it. Hence the birth of this dumb fucking play that I want to be over.
By the way, Brad, you're agreeing with me. I was right. How do you
Yeah, I
feel?
know, but I had my stats and you didn't, so shut the fuck up. I win. I thought of it and looked it up. You just said it, so I win. Whatever. I hate you. I mean, nice. Yeah, good call, Nolan. Sorry, I I misspoke.
Well, boys, that's gonna do us this week on High Fiber Sports. Get your fiber in. It's mid-September, fellas. You know we're a couple weeks away from October. In my opinion, October is the best sports month of the year. You got NBA starting, NFL and college football are rolling, MLB playoffs are going. There's something you got to have multiple screens almost 7 nights
NHL's
a week.
coming.
NHL, yeah. So we're knocking on the door here, fellas. Can't wait to keep on talking. Can't wait to watch the games this weekend. Nolan, what do you got for the people before you get out of here? Maybe something on your Packers, maybe a prediction. What you got?
Yeah, I mean, they're going to win the World Series, Super Bowl, probably the Triple Crown too. They're going to come home, paint your fence, marry the farmer's daughter, all of the above. They just can't lose. So
Yeah,
I'm all,
this your year. This your year,
yeah,
huh?
yep.
Yeah.
I'm all on it, and I'm drinking the Kool-Aid.
Damn.
Things I'm excited for, like I said, the October, one of the best months. I'm excited for cold weather, fires, football, watching hopefully the Red Sox make a playoff run. Got the
Hey.
Ryder Cup next week,
Oh,
and hopefully
Oh
we can take
shit,
down
that
Team
is, huh?
Europe.
Mm-hmm.
So
Hell
great
yeah.
sports month coming up, and I'm pretty excited.
hell yeah, hell yeah. We appreciate everybody coming out any time you spent watching this episode. Let us know what we could do better. Let us know what you thought was funny. Give us a couple nuggets. Let us know what you think. Brad, take us home, put us to bed. Can't wait to see you out here in the Mile High City on Friday night.
See you in a couple of days, brother. But yeah, again, like I said from the get go, this has been one of the best starts in NFL season that I've seen in a minute. It's exciting. You don't know where anything's going, but you said get your fiber in. Well, I did today for dinner, and it was a bunch of almonds, and they're about to wreck sandpaper on my colon, so I gotta run real quick.